The president has the right to fire the FBI director, and that's a perfectly legal act. But if done with corrupt intent, that then potentially could become obstruction of justice.
Regardless of recommendation, I was going to fire Comey, knowing there was no good time to do it. And in fact, when I decided to just do it, I said to myself, I said, you know, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story. It's an excuse by the Democrats for having lost an election.
I think what we're beginning to see is the putting together of a case of obstruction of justice.
And Senator Feinstein simply doesn't know what she's talking about when she says it's obstruction of justice to do what a president is completely authorized to do.
Criminal obstruction of justice requires corrupt intent, so the defendant was actually acting with the purpose of trying to improperly obstruct the legal proceedings somehow.
I don't think it's for me to say whether the conversation I had with the president was an effort to obstruct. I took it as a very disturbing thing, very concerning, but that's a conclusion I'm sure the special counsel will work towards to try and understand what the intention was there and whether that's an offense.
Obstruction of justice has to be something that has the natural and probable effect of influencing the proceeding. But you can make a pretty good argument in his defense that wouldn't have that effect, because if you fire the director of the FBI, the investigations keep going. And in fact, that's exactly what happened, of course. It led to the Mueller being appointed, and then the investigation has gone on. I fired him because of the Russia investigation, yeah, because I thought he was doing a bad job.
I was going to fire Comey. My decision. It was not...
You had made the decision before they came in the room.
I was going to fire Comey.
The current Department of Justice policy is that a sitting president cannot be indicted, but that's a matter of some ongoing debate. The key to proving corrupt intent is frequently circumstantial evidence, because we can't read people's minds. And you take all these little pieces of evidence, any one standing alone wouldn't prove the case. The Roger Stone indictment is an example. He endeavored to obstruct a congressional investigation to prevent them from learning the truth. The committee was investigating the WikiLeaks connection. Was there any coordination or communication between the campaign and WikiLeaks and the release of the stolen Democratic emails? And so Stone is charged with trying to conceal the extent of his connections with both the campaign and with WikiLeaks. Another example is President Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, who's pleaded guilty to another cover-up crime of lying to Congress to conceal the details about the timing of the Trump Tower deal in Moscow. The question is, when Mueller's investigation is finished, are we going to have a series of these individual cover-up crimes like we've seen? Or are these individuals who are pleading guilty, and some of them cooperating with Mueller, being used to build a larger case of a larger conspiracy that could potentially implicate, those much closer to the president or the president himself?
And I'm not worried about it at all, no.
Any one brick doesn't make the wall, but you put them all together and you can build up that evidence proving corrupt intent beyond a reasonable doubt.